Tonight in the 90-Day universe, we've got fake firings, fake hair, real divorces, secret babies, and one very mysterious millionaire-looking boyfriend. So yeah, grab your snack because it's a wild scroll. First up, did TLC really kick Elizabeth and Andrei off the 90-Day Fiance franchise after that explosive happily ever after tell-all? Or did a messy Facebook fan page just manufacture the drama for clout? We'll break down who's saying what and why the fandom is so desperate to see this couple banned for good. Next, Gino Palazzello is having the week of his life and the flop of his life. On one side, there's a viral new Gino with the full silver fox hairline that has fans thirsting in the comments, and then the internet realizes the glow-up is AI. On the other side, Gino is on the tell-all screaming about Jasmine's cheating, but when it's time to show receipts, nothing, nada, zero proof. Viewers are calling him out for baseless accusations and messy lies. Meanwhile, Guillermo drops a bombshell about Kara. He says she has a serious drinking problem and turns into a totally different person when she's out partying and flirting with other men. Kara insists she just gets more fun, but their marriage is headed for divorce and fans are picking sides. Over on the couch, Julia finally confirms her long-awaited pregnancy with Brandon, but it's a high-risk pregnancy after miscarriages, ovarian issues, and doctors doubting she could ever carry. She's terrified to even tell people, especially his over-involved parents, and the cast is in tears as she talks about waking up just to feel the baby kick. And if that wasn't enough drama, Jasmine Pineda is trying to move her sons to America with a shiny new legal dad in Matt. But her ex-husband just went on record saying he had no idea his kids were even leaving the country. But it's not all mess. Chidi, from before the 90 days, just crossed a huge milestone, proudly graduating with a master's in social work and inspiring fans who watched him survive that chaotic relationship with Rayne. And finally, the queen of toxic TV gold, Anfisa, soft launches a much older, super fit new man named Chad, then quietly archives the post. He's 55, he's a bodybuilder, he's a home inspector, and fans are already asking if this is love or just another money-shaped guy. If you live for messy tell-alls, miracle babies, fake firings, and mystery boyfriends, tap like, smash subscribe, ring that little bell so you don't miss the next meltdown, and let's get into it. Roll the title card for our first story. Did TLC really fire Libby and Andrei, or did fans get played? So, right as Happily Ever After Season 9's Tell All No Limits Part 1 dropped, a Facebook fan page suddenly claimed that Libby and Andrei were officially banned from the franchise. No network statement, no receipts, just a big headline. And the fandom lost its mind. Now bloggers are calling it out as fake. Fans are disappointed it's not true. And the drama is somehow messier than the tell-all itself. On screen, we've got Libby and Andrei doing what they do best on the tell-all couch. Yelling, stirring the pot, and attaching themselves to whatever storyline keeps them in the center of the drama. They're clashing with Yara and Jovi again, revisiting that whole let's move to Moldova forever plan, then walking it back. Libby now says she doesn't want to make bad decisions for herself and the kids, so the couple is staying in Florida for now. But off-screen, it's the rumors that really blew up. A random Facebook fan page posts that TLC has kicked Elizabeth and Andrei off the show completely, like a permanent ban from the 90-Day universe. No screenshots of emails, no statement from production, no insider confirmation, just vibes and a bold caption. Enter 90-Day blogger at shabooty.com, who basically said, absolutely not. They called the post fake, dragged the page for spreading nonsense, and even joked, this isn't true, but I wish it was. Then they took it a step further and labeled Libby a mindless cast member, basically an empty vessel who just follows the crowd and clings to whoever the network is favoring at the moment. And honestly, a lot of fans agreed. The comment sections lit up with people admitting they were low-key disappointed to find out the firing news was bogus. They've watched Andrei go after Rayne and Alexei, blame Alexei's alleged stalking women for Loren's weight loss, and go nuclear on Jovi while Libby hurls nasty remarks at Yara. At this point, viewers are exhausted and saying this couple adds more chaos than content. So, where does that leave us? As of right now, there's no solid proof that TLC has fired Elizabeth and Andrei. No press releases, no insider confirmations, just a fan page rumor that got debunked fast. But the fact that so many people were ready to believe it and even celebrate it says a lot about how done the fandom is with this Florida-Moldova soap opera. Fans are basically split into two camps. One side is screaming, "Please let this rumor come true," and the other is laughing at how easily the fandom falls for unverified posts. Either way, Libby and Andrei are still on the roster, at least for now. Keep it locked, because if you thought fake firing rumors were wild, wait till you see what one 90-day legend allegedly did to his hairline. We're heading straight into the bye-bye hat era of Gino Palazzolo and that viral new hair photo that has everyone asking, is this real or just AI? On screen, we've got the classic Gino, bald head, baseball cap glued on, nervous smile. Then, bam, the viral pic. Suddenly, Gino is sitting in his car, grinning from ear to ear, rocking a full, thick, silver gray hairstyle that looks like it came straight out of a men's grooming commercial. The volume, perfect. The texture and styling, salon level. The tone, that classy salt and pepper that instantly knocks 10 years off his face. Fans absolutely lost it in the comments. People were writing things like, "Wow, hair really makes a difference," and "That actually looks nice. Cheap Gino spent money on his looks." Someone else chimed in, "So handsome and unbitter looking." For a hot minute, everyone thought Gino had finally invested in himself. Hair transplant, wig, something. But then the eagle-eyed viewers stepped in. They started zooming in on the hairline, the skin texture, the weirdly perfect lighting, and the verdict was brutal. The picture looks AI-generated, not just filtered, fully AI. Suddenly, the narrative shifts from Gino's glow-up to who made this AI fantasy version of Gino and why does it low-key slap? Now you've got fans half begging him to turn the fantasy into reality. Comment sections are full of people saying, "Take notes, Gino," and "If you looked like this, Jasmine might have been nicer." Others think it's hilarious that the fake version of Gino is getting more love than the real one. Don't touch that dial, because if you thought Gino's AI hair was messy, wait till you hear about the real-life accusations flying in our next couple's breakup. We're heading straight into Guillermo and Kara's drama, where he's claiming her drinking turned her into a totally different person, and that's why their marriage collapsed. Guillermo starts by confirming what many fans already suspected. He and Kara are not working things out. They're heading toward divorce. But then he drops the real bomb. He says Kara has drinking issues and that alcohol is at the core of why their relationship fell apart. According to Guillermo, he doesn't mind Kara drinking in theory. The problem, he says, is who she becomes when she drinks. He describes it like a switch flipping. Suddenly, she's a completely different person. He tells the host and the cast that he would dread nights out because he knew once the drinks kept coming, things would go left. He explains that Kara would get very cute and cozy when drinking, and not just with him. Guillermo claims she would flirt with other men when they went out, and that this wasn't a one-time accident, it was a pattern. Kara pushes back. She insists that yes, she gets more fun when she drinks, but that's who she has always been. She reminds Guillermo and the audience that he knew exactly how she partied from day one. She denies intentionally flirting in a disrespectful way, and some cast members, like Jasmine, suggest the interactions seemed harmless and more playful than scandalous. Jovi, however, isn't fully buying that. He chimes in that, married or not, there should still be boundaries, especially when your spouse is telling you they feel uncomfortable. The tension on the couch gets thick. You can almost see the other couples mentally checking their own relationship red flags. The saddest part? Fans who once shipped Guillermo and Kara hard were hoping this tell-all would be about a second chance, maybe a tearful reconciliation. Instead, we're watching a couple dissect their marriage in real time, with Guillermo looking hurt and exhausted, and Kara defending herself but clearly frustrated. The takeaway from the reunion? This isn't just, we grew apart. Guillermo is telling the world, I couldn't live with who she became when she drank. And that's a much heavier conversation than the usual 90-day squabbles over money or chores. Right now, the fandom is split. Some viewers see Guillermo as a guy finally setting boundaries and protecting his peace, while others think he's exaggerating and trying to spin the story in his favor after the breakup. Stick around, because if you thought this breakup drama was messy, the next couple is fighting over something even pettier: non-existent receipts. We're heading straight into the Gino versus Jasmine saga, where Gino is screaming cheater at the top of his lungs and still can't prove a thing. Let's set the stage. For months, Gino has been telling anyone who will listen that Jasmine cheated on him with Matt Brannis. He said she was already in love with Matt when she proposed the whole open marriage idea, that she basically had one foot out the door, and that he had proof, texts, numbers, the whole thing. So, when the tell-all cameras start rolling, fans are expecting a bombshell. Screenshots, phone logs, maybe even Matt himself getting dragged into the conversation. Instead, we get Gino yelling a lot. He calls Jasmine unfaithful, says she was conducting an emotional affair behind his back, and claims he's been texting with Matt directly. That's the key part. Gino insists he has Matt's number and has been in contact with him. Enter Andrei, who for once actually does something useful. He asks for the number, whips out his phone, and calls it right there on set. Libby and Yara are tasked with checking if Matt's phone is actually ringing on his end. And what happens? Chaos, but not the kind Gino wanted. Libby and Yara end up interrogating Matt, who has no idea what's going on, while it becomes painfully obvious that something about this number is off. When it doesn't check out, Gino's big smoking gun turns into a smoke machine with no fire. Instead of admitting he might have gotten it wrong, Gino doubles down. He claims Matt must have changed his number out of guilt. He insists he cross-checked the contact info and that it used to match, but he still cannot produce a single solid receipt. No messages that prove an affair, no verified calls, nothing that backs up the massive accusations he's throwing at Jasmine. Meanwhile, viewers are watching this unfold like, wait, that's it? This isn't the explosive evidence Gino has been teasing. It's basically speculation wrapped in paranoia. The more he talks, the less credible he sounds, and the more it looks like he's using cheating as a storyline rather than a fact. Fans are dragging Gino for tossing around life-ruining accusations with zero proof, calling him messy, bitter, and obsessed, while others think he's so deep in his own narrative that he can't see how bad he looks on camera anymore. Keep it locked, because if you're tired of the screaming and finger pointing, our next story is emotional in a totally different way. We're heading straight into Julia Trupkina's tearful tell-all moment, where she finally opens up about her long fertility struggle and her high-risk pregnancy with Brandon. We open on that tell-all couch. Big screens, bright lights, everyone bracing for drama. And then the tone shifts. Julia announces that she's pregnant, and you can see Brandon's whole face light up. This is the moment they've been dreaming about, but it did not come easy. Julia starts talking about all the pain it took to get here. She shares that she's had miscarriages in the past and struggled with serious reproductive issues, ovarian polyps, cysts, doctors in Russia openly doubting if she would ever be able to carry a pregnancy to term. She explains that she and Brandon eventually turned to fertility clinics, consultations, and endless appointments. They finally conceived, but instead of feeling pure joy, Julia says she's living with constant fear. She calls this a high-risk pregnancy and admits that every day is a mix of hope and panic. One of the most heartbreaking moments is when she says she sometimes wakes up just to feel the baby kick, because that's the only thing that reassures her the pregnancy is still okay. The cast around her gets visibly emotional. Some are wiping tears, others just staring at her with that "I know this pain" look. Then there's the family dynamic. Julia reveals she delayed telling Brandon's parents, the same parents fans have criticized for being way too involved in their lives. Even though they've always said they want to be grandparents, Julia is scared of sharing the news and then having to tell them if something goes wrong. Her past losses have made her hyper protective of this tiny bit of hope she's finally holding. Julia's parents, she says, were the first to know, and the call is emotional. But with Brandon's family, there's this weight, years of judgment, control, and criticism hanging over what should be the happiest announcement of her life. It's the perfect storm of long-term trauma, fertility fear, and in-law tension playing out under reality TV lights. Right now, fans are dropping the snark and rallying behind Julia, sending prayers and good vibes, while still side-eyeing Brandon's parents and wondering if they'll respect boundaries this time or turn this pregnancy into their storyline. Stick around, because just when you think we're staying in the emotional lane, we're heading right back into pure chaos. We're diving straight into Jasmine Pineda's latest mess, where her ex-husband says he had no idea their kids are supposedly moving to America. And bloggers are spilling all the behind-the-scenes tea. On the show and on social media, Jasmine Pineda has made one thing crystal clear. She wants her sons in America, and she's willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Recently, she told fans that the boys were all set to come to the States and teased that Matt Brannis would become their legal guardian in the U.S., even working overtime to buy a house big enough for all of them. But here's the messy part. A popular blogger, Mary Pants, decided to go straight to the source, Jasmine's ex-husband, and ask what he thought about this massive move. And according to the screenshot she shared, his answer was basically, "What move?" Jasmine's former husband allegedly tells the blogger he has zero information about his kids relocating permanently to America. No conversations, no paperwork, no co-parenting sit-down, nothing. That's a huge red flag, because we're not talking about a weekend vacation. This is a life-changing move across countries, and the biological dad says he's completely out of the loop. It gets even pettier. Mary Pants points out that up until this drama, the ex pretty much posted only gym content, workout selfies, fitness videos, that kind of thing. Then suddenly, right after the news breaks that Jasmine is bringing the kids to the U.S. with a new legal dad, his social media changes. He starts posting cozy photos with his new love and pictures with the kids like, "Hey, I'm here too." Fans are looking at this timing and wondering, is he trying to make Jasmine jealous? Is he suddenly playing the present father card because the storyline is now public? Or is this his way of quietly clapping back at the idea that Matt is going to step in as the main father figure in America? Either way, the situation raises serious questions. Did Jasmine actually loop him in and he's now playing victim? Or did she really move forward with this plan, focusing only on her U.S. narrative and not the co-parenting reality back home? And what does this mean for any legal custody issues if she's trying to change guardianship and relocate the kids internationally? And just when you think the 90-Day universe is nothing but chaos and custody drama, we actually have a story that's pure, wholesome glow-up. Stick around because we're heading straight into Chidi Ikpemeze's major career milestone. From messy breakup TV to graduation gown and a master's degree, this is the kind of win fans are loving to celebrate. Chidi just dropped a set of photos that had the fandom cheering instead of cringing. He's standing tall in a graduation gown, beaming, surrounded by classmates, and the caption is basically one long testimony to hard work and resilience. Chidi reveals that he has officially completed his Master of Science in Social Work from the University of Ibadan, one of Nigeria's most respected universities. In his post, he looks back at his academic journey, reminding fans that he first earned his bachelor's in sociology from the University of Lagos. This isn't some overnight flex. This is years of grinding behind the scenes while the world mostly remembered him as that guy from 90 Day. He talks openly about the challenges, balancing disability, finances, emotional stress, and the lingering fallout from his time with Rayne. Instead of dragging his ex online, Chidi points out how he chose to focus on bettering himself and positioning his life around helping others. For a man who was once portrayed as fragile and under attack, it's a powerful rebrand, not a victim, but a determined, educated advocate. Reddit threads and fan pages lit up with praise. People are calling him an inspiration, the kind of man who deserves all good things, and saying the fact that he's dedicating his life to social work speaks volumes about his character. What really hits home is the contrast. While some ex-cast members stay stuck, reliving the show and feuding on Instagram, Chidi's out here stacking degrees and building a career centered around service. It's the kind of update fans love to see. Someone taking the platform reality TV gave them and turning it into something real, grounded, and genuinely positive. Don't touch that dial, because just when we're celebrating a wholesome win, we're diving back into the glamorous, slightly suspicious side of 90-Day romance. Wait till you see who Anfisa is cuddling up with now, a 55-year-old super fit mystery man named Chad, whose debut has fans screaming Gold Digger sequel all over again. Let's rewind. Anfisa Arkipchenko, now Anfisa Nava, became iconic in season 4 for saying the quiet part out loud. She wanted Jorge for his money and didn't pretend otherwise. The marriage ended, Jorge moved on, and Anfisa reinvented herself as a fitness influencer and independent girl boss. New body, new brand, no man needed. Then, out of nowhere, she posts that Instagram photo. Anfisa is sitting poolside in a vibrant purple bikini, looking every bit the gym-sculpted influencer, while a shirtless man in a black cap stands in the pool behind her, arms wrapped casually around her in a lazy, possessive embrace. You don't see his face, but you definitely see that this is my man energy. And just when fans start zooming and screenshotting, the post disappears into her archived vault. That only makes people more obsessed. The sleuths go to work, tracking tags, comparing arms, analyzing backgrounds, and eventually land on a name: Chad. What do we know about Chad? He's reportedly in his mid-50s, around 55, a bodybuilder, and a home inspector. So older, jacked, stable career, very into fitness. Sound like someone Anfisa might vibe with? Absolutely. They've apparently been dating since earlier this year, and while they haven't walked a red carpet or done a big joint Q&A, that one poolside photo plus social media clues were enough for the fandom to stitch together the story. But of course, this is Anfisa. Her dating life can't just be normal. Fans immediately zeroed in on the age gap and her history. Some are side-eyeing the situation, saying things like, she likes money-shaped guys, and looks don't matter to Anfisa. It's about how much money you're willing to give her. Others are more amused than angry, joking that this is Jorge DLC version, older, more gym time, and hopefully fewer weed-filled car trunks. The location of that viral picture, resort-style pool, lush greenery, beach umbrellas in the back, add to the luxe I upgraded my life aesthetic she's been curating for years. And the fact that she posted and then archived the pic just makes it feel more like a controlled tease than a real attempt to stay private. She knows exactly what she's doing.